You're listening to the Timey-Wimey Tea Time Podcast, a geekyantics.net production where lovely and amazing people talk and ponder anything and everything about Doctor Who, science fiction, fantasy, zombies, the end of the world, creativity, writing, and, oh heck yes, anything else that geeks speak, question, and think.
Timey-Wimey Tea Time.
Gusta.
And we're back. The second half of Timey-Wimey Tea Time, episode 8. Yes, we are here. And let's see, we just heard a voicemail message. I don't think she mentioned her name, but she quoted, I believe, a passage from the Bible, 1 Corinthians.
Yeah.
Stan, did you have anything to say about the voicemail message?
It was awesome. We needed just that. It was perfect.
Talking about, you know, that from that passage, my takeaway for some reason is always the nature of love. That's what I feel like it's talking about.
Yes, it is.
What love is and what it isn't. And it spoke to a little bit at the mouth garbage too.
Yes, it did.
How we have to speak words of love and live a life of love. You know, do love. You know, live love in action and in words. It's important. So, yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on here in the chat. I don't even know where to start. But while we were on our little intermission, for those watching live, BFT made a good point about how he doesn't feel they're going in a romantic direction between the Doctor and Clara. And thank goodness. I want him to be more of a father figure, more of a paternal Doctor. And they should build that up. And there's a lot of good nuggets here he's sharing. He says, yeah, I don't think that they'll go that way. I'm thinking they may use Clara's relationship with Danny as a vehicle for Clara's exit. As the Doctor becomes more understanding of Danny and trusts him to take care of Clara, it'll help him and Clara mature and become confident to move on from each other. At least that's my guess, as Clara's time may be coming to a close. You know, and then he also mentioned that she's on her second season, and all of the companions since we've seen the series come back, 2005, have only been a main companion for about 2 seasons or less. So she is reaching the maximum of her shelf life. Her expiration date's coming up. I don't know. There's something there. I don't know if Moffat is just a difficult person to deal with. Maybe it's part of some really cockamamie method acting approach where he purposely pisses people off so that they could bring that anger into the role. Because Clara kind of went from a somewhat happy-go-lucky character to kind of she's kind of scary at times.
Yeah, she is.
So, I mean, she's bringing some intensity in Series 8. And maybe that's what happens, you know. The Moffat makes people angry, they're about to leave, and then he writes them to be angrier characters so they could take out their aggressions towards him in the role. And the Doctor's, poor 12th Doctor is getting the brunt of all her anger now. Including being slapped. But anyway, let's go on to our introduction to last week's episode. Now that we've set a nice little stage here. Series 8, Episode 7. Kill the Moon. Now, before we share a brief recap, I'd like to start off by saying that this might be the very first episode of the season. We mentioned this in the first half of the show. It's the first episode of the season that Stan and I both loved. Not just liked, we loved. That's saying something. It's also said that kind of gives us a little less to talk about, which may say a lot more about mouth garbage and how pervasive it is. In fact, our good friend of the show, and I'm hoping we could get to know him better in other manners and connect in other manners besides the voicemail messages. Isaac, he loved this episode. He loved the episode and left us a voicemail message discussing his musings and how he's happy the show's going in a better direction finally, and and giving us some encouragement here at TWTT. So thank you for helping us keep this 100% positive, or at least close to it. Let's go ahead and listen to that voicemail message real quick. You ready, Stan? Alright, I'll take that as a yes. And here we go, if I could find it and miss all my stuff. Alright, here we go, guys.
Hello, my friends. Episode 7, Kill the Moon, is a surprising and welcome turnaround for Series 8. Clara and Courtney chose life. They put aside fear and they embraced the beauty of life. They became heroes, and their triumph was a boon for all humanity. That is how the Doctor Who show should be written every time. It should be a good story, full of beauty, goodness, and truth. Good stories are nothing less. I also wanted to congratulate you, my friends, on your podcast. I appreciate how you have worked out the technical problems, how you are putting in the time and effort to think it before you speak on them, how you speak about important things with precision, clarity, and authority. Your ideas and thoughts are organized. This is a sign of your high intelligence, compassion, and art. I know in my heart that many must feel the same way as I feel about you. You are doing something special, very special. You are heroic, my friends. Never cast your eyes down except when you are lifting another up.
Man, Isaac always has something profound to say, and we love him for that. Never cast your eyes down except when you're lifting someone up. That alone is very powerful. And to some, it might sound like some hippie kumbaya stuff, Put the cynicism aside. Don't be jaded. Open your heart, It's important to realize that it's so easy to cast judgment upon others and not give people the benefit of the doubt. Come from a place of darkness and doubt, maybe fear. But to empower others, to help others, that's heroic in itself. And I'm glad that Isaac gets that, and a lot of you, pretty much most of you, get the feels there. I'm glad that that's how we're coming across. And it's interesting because for every one person that shares that message of hope and encouragement, there's probably at least 10 other people that feel the same way as Isaac hints there in his voicemail message, but they may be too scared to put themselves out there, or they don't know how to find the words. Hey, don't worry about being a wordsmith. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about being vulnerable. We're all vulnerable. There's no such thing as control and safe in this world. So share that beauty. Don't be scared to do that. And I hope that we keep creating a very warm and inviting environment for open discussions like that. That's at the heart of what we're doing here at TWTT. So don't forget, you can leave those voicemail messages at 1206-415-4987 or email us at twtt@geekyantics.net, and I'll go to Stan and myself. But there's so much stuff that was said there. So as far as Kill the Moon goes, episode 7 of series 8, he's absolutely right. This is a true, I would say, classic Doctor Who story. The universe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back, Stan. But it's the scale and scope is completely Doctor Who. The whole world is at risk. Not just London or the UK. The whole world has to deal with something, a big decision. And there's an impact to the universe there. The Earth is threatened. And we'll get into that shortly here, but that's powerful. Now, Isaac says that the story is hinting that we should choose life. I think it's a deeper. That's stuff. That's definitely. I think that's a huge takeaway, if not the main one. But as far as the story goes itself, there's a different conflict here. So let's go ahead and discuss that, because I think Isaac's he must be reading our minds or something. Because this is exactly the kind of stuff we want to talk about. So here we go. Episode 7 is essentially a space story, and that's already a big improvement. We've said this time and time again. And all these Earth-based stories, they're cool, but when there's too many of them, it makes you wonder. It's like, okay, really, if you could travel all the time in space, would you really keep coming back to the UK of all places? And all the things that threaten all of mankind, or all of the universe, all of the world, start in the UK? Okay, then, I'm a little doubtful.
So that means they're the cause of all troubles?
Ooh, shots fired. Well, yeah, I'm not even gonna touch that one. But for the first time in Series 8, we have some real tension. That's another thing people have mentioned in our community. Just throughout all of like the enthusiast press covering Doctor Who, that's been a major concern, the lack of tension. And I'm not considering the folks that blindly say every episode has been fantastic. I don't know. I love Doctor Who, and it's probably my favorite show of all time. But I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I know Stan isn't either. So the episode 7, it all starts with what is supposed to be a casual trip to the moon in the not so distant future, 2049 to be exact, if I'm not mistaken. The Doctor and Clara are joined by our favorite disruptive influence and purported shoplifter, Courtney Woods. They encounter some second or third string astronauts who reveal some very grim news. Earth is on the brink of destruction. Now, it turns out that the moon has been eating too many red bean buns and fried Oreos. So it's gained a bit of weight. And the additional mass has created a gravitational pull, which in turn causes high tides, death, and destruction to the coastal populations, and et cetera, et cetera. You get that. It's a big deal. They can't just ignore this problem. Now, Courtney Woods is entertained until people start dying and things get serious. And she runs back to the TARDIS, where she eventually gets bored. You like that, Stan?
I do.
So what is it? Why don't you tell us more, Stan?
But why are people dying on the moon? Turns out the moon is inhabited or infested by spiders. But they're not really spiders. They're bacteria. But we'll get into that. Tell us more.
So, fast forward to the epic part. To the tension. Clara and the remaining astronauts hold the fate of the Earth in their hands. The astronaut wants to set off nukes to destroy the moon, or the monster. But Clara and Courtney have their doubts, because the moon is an egg, and in this egg is life. As the doctor says, it's the last of its species.
So, yet another story where there's an emphasis on the preciousness of a last of its kind life form. More importantly, this is a story about life, abortion, and choice. And I think the BBC made a daring decision when they decided to go to the heart of this argument.
Another divisive episode, but it's not whether the storytelling is good or not that's dividing people. It's the issues and where we stand on that. So that's a good place to be divided. You
Mhm.
wanna get people thinking about that kind of stuff. That's a good story. What would you do in this scenario? That tells you a lot about yourself. Now, we've purposely not mentioned the Doctor much in this recap because really he doesn't do much in this episode beyond bringing Clara and Courtney to a rock and hard place. It's a catch-21. Or is it a catch-22? It doesn't matter. But the Doctor leaves Clara and Courtney to live up to the responsibility of choosing between life and death. You know, no big deal, no pressure. He literally gets in the TARDIS and takes off as the three women seriously stress out in their decisions about the fate of the new life and all of humanity. Again, no big deal.
So, Clara attempts to dodge the burden of responsibility by asking the Earth to make the big decision. She says, "Hello, Earth. We have a terrible decision to make. It's an uncertain decision, and we don't have a lot of time. We can kill this creature, or we can let it live. We don't know what it's going to do. We don't know what's going to happen when it hatches, if it will hurt us, help us, or just leave us alone. We have to decide together. This is the last time we'll be able to speak to you, but you can send us a message. If you think we should kill the creature, turn your lights off. If you think we should take the chance, let it live, leave your lights on. We'll be able to see. Good night, Earth."
How do you respond to that? Now, I want to know, first of all, the people of Earth vote for the killing of the unborn alien child.
Yes.
And mind you, when we were watching this together, me seeing the world through, I guess, rose-colored eyeglasses, I thought they voted to keep it alive. Yeah, I was a little too optimistic in that hope. It was a unanimous decision, in favor of human survival and, by extension, killing the unborn child. And, that's kind of scary. Stan?
So, Earth votes to kill it. Now, we could argue on behalf of Earth in the sense that she doesn't really give much description of what's going on.
That's true.
So she doesn't describe it as a child. She describes it as a creature.
Yeah.
So maybe people didn't understand the decision they were making.
I noticed that too. That was a big thing for me, and that she almost set up Earth to fail.
Yes,
someone says the
didn't
giant
make an
creature.
impassioned plea.
Yeah, I mean, you tell someone there's a giant creature that in the sky. Should we kill it or let it live? Kill it. That's if it's that big. Yeah.
All right.
What else you think there?
So at the last minute, Clara and Courtney decide to go against the selfish, arrogant, fearful, and destructive impulse of humankind. They will not destroy the life of the unborn alien child. They choose life. And?
They defend the life of the unborn.
Yeah.
Now, BFT has a very good point here. He said that Clara's plan was flawed because the governments could have just had all the power switched off regardless of what the people actually wanted.
Ah, another defender of humanity.
Yeah. Yeah. We still have hope for our fellow human beings. So it's not all darkness. But, I understand. I mean, under the gun, we all make crazy decisions. She made a pretty good decision considering the circumstances. I mean, there was just, minutes left for her to make a real play here, right?
Right.
So we gotta be fair to
the
her.
fact that Courtney never doubted what the decision should be. So as silly and annoying as she seemed to be, she hung on to that one thing that you can't kill something.
Yeah. And she showed up. Sometimes just showing up is important.
Yeah.
So Courtney definitely redeemed herself in this moment. this climatic moment, this tension, suspense.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So the new precious life inspires humanity to dream bigger. It inspires them to unite in their dream to reach out to distant stars and to become a starfaring species. Did I lose Stan? Oh yeah, that was weird. Hey, what was that?
I don't know. The internet dropped.
That was crazy. But yeah, so tell us some of the words here, some moving words here from the Doctor.
Oh, that was awesome, that speech.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was like in a trance. Mid 21st century, humankind starts, and you know, I could hear Eccleston say this. I don't know why. It was weird because for some reason my mind was like, you know, this Eccleston should be saying this. Mid 21st century, humankind starts creeping off into the stars. It spreads its way through the galaxy to the very edges of the universe, and it endures until the end of time. And it does all that because one day in the year 2049, when it stopped thinking about going to the stars, something occurred that made it look up, not down. It looked out there. It reminds me of Isaac.
Yeah.
Like Isaac said. It looked out there in the blackness and it saw something beautiful, something wonderful that for once it didn't want to destroy. And in that one moment, the whole course of history was changed. Not bad for a girl from Coal Hill School and her teacher.
You know, I was breathless when the Doctor shared that prophecy. And it was a moment of beauty.
Yes, it was.
And
oh, yeah.
He was not condescending or salty at all. This is the Doctor that we've come to know.
Yes.
And for... Otherwise, I feel like he had no real presence in this episode. He just kind of came along for the ride. Maybe that's just me, but... This one moment here...
Yes.
Yeah, he got them there, and that's it. But this one moment made this a huge Doctor experience.
Yes.
So, I mean, Clara, you could say Clara was the hero, but the Doctor, he was no slouch.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last but not least, Danny adds to the great wisdom offered in this episode. Our boy Danny steps up to the plate, man. So Clara tells Danny that she's done with the Doctor. And actually, this comes after he looks at her and picks up on the fact that she seems a little off. And it's a brief glance, you know, and he says, "It happened, didn't it?" So she says, "Oh, I'm done with him. I'm done with the Doctor." So Danny replies, "You're never finished with anyone while they can still make you angry." Woo! Danny, you go, boy. I mean, seriously, finally, he comes from such a place of maturity and strength. He has every opportunity right here to tear down the Doctor and just, you know, make himself the better man, even though they're not really competing on the same level for the same interests. It's still, the Doctor is kind of a threat to Danny's territory, and I appreciate that as a man. But he just, to muster up all that strength, that willpower to not just take a stab at the Doctor. That's all he says, and he leaves it there. He didn't make it about him. He just tried to give, you know, Clara that shoulder to cry on, that shoulder to lean on, you know, and held her hand rather than trying to pull her closer to him. And that's special. So, you know, as you watch or rewatch episode 7, Kill the Moon, these are the things that stood out the most for us. So Clara could not handle the burden of a hero. She rejected the Doctor, and boy, did she. I mean, like I said in our last episode, you know, I like this phrase, and I hope it tickles Stan again, but now the Doctor is able to poop out of 2 places. Oh, come on, Stan. Killing me, bro. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
But, I mean, she really gave it to him. I mean, dude. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Yes,
And he just stood there dumbfounded. Like, did that just happen? Now, will the pain of Clara's rejection awaken our hero? I'm hoping so. We're hoping so. I think we all are. Everybody in the community is waiting for that. And again, Danny had every opportunity to knock down the Doctor further here, but instead he gives Clara, that's her new name. He gave her some good advice, so good on you. Very, very strong Danny Pink in this episode, and you know, Samuel, the actor, he's been solid all around. I just didn't like the way they were writing him at some points.
Right.
So here he really adds value to the story, and I feel like we need to rewatch this one. Or at least I need to.
Yeah.
So anything else, Stan? You want to add to that?
No, let's jump to the big stuff.
Before we get into the big stuff and little stuff, that watching this episode with a friend makes it that much better.
It does.
Catching each other's immediate reaction. There's a lot of moments where you'll laugh, you'll cry, and you might even facepalm a bit. But it's okay. You know, it's all in proper proportions, I would say. So, big stuff. We're not even going to say big problem. We're keeping this positive. Big stuff in this episode is Clara rejects responsibility. So I think we touched upon that quite a bit, but we're going to go a little deeper. Another thing, we are our own worst enemy. And Danny becomes a real man. I'm a real boy. Little stuff, germs and bacteria. Don't worry, it'll make sense. We'll get to it. Courtney Woods and thingy things.
That was terrible.
Yeah, what was that about? And more mouth garbage. Let's jump right in. Big stuff. Clara rejects responsibility. Now, Clara has criticized the Doctor for his lack of heart, compassion, and caring for most of Series 8. But now we discover that she is that person. Yep. The pot that caused the kettle black. Oh yeah, more shots fired. Now, even after her and Courtney's heroic triumph, Clara still doesn't get it. Is she us? Are we the ones that don't get it? Are we sitting on the sidelines when terrible things are going on? Is making a better place, you know, of the world on us? You know, food for thought there. Now, is it us sitting on the couch and watching TV, avoiding responsibility and falling in love? So is Clara personifying all of mankind, including the audience?
I think so.
Yeah. So where is the love? You should read this here, Stan. Bring the epicness.
Yeah, I was hearing the song in my head, dude. You know, Father, help us. I can't do the song though. Send some guidance from above, because people got me questioning, where is the love?
That's why I should have hummed it for you. Like it goes.
Yeah.
What's the one part? Oh. I can't do it. I can't do it. I gotta be in a moment. Then that's when the musical comes out. Where is the love?
There you go.
So tell us what you really think. I think there's a lot. There's quite a bit of substance there alone. I mean, she's a bit of a hypocrite. Oh, and Taya Claw and All Games Chat is giving us some suggestions on sound effects that they should use in Doctor Who. DramaButton.com. I sense some more soundboarding in the future. Now here's the other big thing. We are our own worst enemy. So finally we have an antagonist that is worthy of the Doctor. And worthy of ourselves. It is us. It is humanity. It is our selfish, arrogant, and fearful selves. Our self-indulgence, I would say.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to avoid the pro-life and pro-choice issue in Kill the Moon. I think that the story deals with that in a very effective manner, so I don't want to detract from that. But I do want us to consider the selfish practicality and lack of interest in others. That's a problem. Stan?
Yeah, I think, well, the irony is that we're all about getting us justice. Yeah, we don't really care about injustice. We do, or the injustice that happens to others. It's kind of like our hearts are stuck in a box. And if there's anything we got to get out of the box. It's our hearts first, and then our minds. Because the other way around, it just doesn't pay off for everyone. And we can't pay it forward until the heart is out of the box.
That's deep. And BFT added another notion, another consideration to the whole bit about Clara. And he said, I may be reading into this too much, but after the regen, Clara's reaction was similar to a child whose father shaved his beard. The current rejection may be her teenage rebellion towards the Doctor. I want to believe that. And I think it fits. I think they've written that, not super effectively, but they've put enough in there to make us feel that this is meant to be a paternal Doctor. But then there have been times where it's like, well, is he trying to compete with Danny on the level of a man, you know, like that wants affections? Or is he just he's just looking at his little girl growing up so fast and feeling the hurt? I mean, if you remember, I think it was in Caretaker, he was kind of like, no, this is the guy that you want. And then when he saw Danny, he's like, no, I don't think he's good for you. So that's a paternal thing. I mean, for a father, no one's ever good enough for a little girl. You know, it's kind of awkward at times because like you form an attachment that could be misconstrued, but it's just we love our princesses, and then we see them grow up. And it's like, no, I don't want to think about you in that way. You're my little girl.
Right.
It's hard. So let's go to the next item because I could go off on that tangent quite a bit. Stan knows.
Yeah.
The struggle of a parent in a large family. It's you deal with a lot of loss in many ways. All right, let me not get sad. But that, here's the next big question: is Danny a good man? That perfect segue, because again, the Doctor doubts that. But our boy Danny knocks it out of the park with his good advice. He proves that he's not PE with a few choice words at the close of the episode. His words reflect deep insight and understanding of the human heart. Or was it just luck?
Oh.
It could just be dumb luck, you never know. Sometimes the greatest wisdom sometimes is found in those moments of dumb luck, and maybe you can say it's dumb luck or serendipity, right? Or the spirit speaking through you. Whatever you want to say. It's good. I think it doesn't matter. Don't look at the messenger. Look at the message. And that's what I've learned to do. Cause Danny Pinks, Stan. He's run me the wrong way a few times.
Yes, he has.
But I'm liking him now. He doesn't feel like he's just been shoehorned in. By the way, no one was impressed by Danny's gymnastics in the Caretaker. It was a little silly. He leaps, flips, and flies over Skelvic's blitzer. And worse, it reinforced the whole athletic racial profile. And they went there. It's like, no, come on. Now the Doctor's right in a bad way. Now he's going to be smug about it.
Right.
We like the Doctor to be right. We like him to be clever and wise and see things ahead of time. He's like a chess player. He can see several moves, 30 moves in advance, right? But not in this situation. But of course, it's not so much a Danny problem as it is a writer, director, and producer problem. We've talked about this, Stan.
Yes.
But let's go deeper.
Beyond the wisdom of Danny's advice, why does this make him more manly in our estimation? I'd say because a real man, a man that will make a good husband, a good father, a good friend, and a good neighbor, is not the Incredible Hulk or a Spartan, as much as we like them. What is most manly about a man is when he is a lamp to the footsteps of his family, friends, and community. When he is his brother and sister's keeper. When he leads his people to freedom, hope, beauty, goodness, truth.
See, now we're in a really serious moment, but I can't unsee this image. I'm picturing the Doctor with a sword going, "This is Gallifrey. And it's even funnier if you saw this really odd video where they took 300 and they CG'd in cupcakes at the end of every sword. It was so random. And then they got someone to do really good voice acting work, and it goes, "This is Cupcake." So just go back and watch 300 and picture a cupcake in every scene, and if you don't laugh, I don't know, you might not have a soul. But back to the serious matters at hand. I would say that I would also say that a good man knows when to gently hold hands rather than pulling forcefully. Now, I like what you said about the lamp, saying a real man shines a light to guide those he cares about most. He's responsible, like Yuri said in his voicemail last show.
Good, yeah.
So, there we go. Everything's coming around full circle, and I'm glad. I think we could breathe a little more easily now.
Yes.
But folks, don't forget, keep the conversation going. Let us know what you think. Tons of ways to connect with us. And towards the end of the show, we'll share those ways. And of course, if you're watching the video, you'll see our Twitter avatars, handles. But let's go on now to the little stuff in this episode here, Kill the Moon. Germs and bacteria. What the heck is that about? So the moon spiders are not spiders. They are single-celled bacteria. Germs, in other words. What bothered me here is that I feel there was more unnecessary dialogue and overall writing here. Mouth garbage, if you will. The point was made that these creatures were germs. And then, like minutes later, the doctor made a huge spectacle when specifying they were actually bacteria. Now, did this distinction really add any value to the storytelling? What do you think, Stan?
Well, beyond the spiders adding that creepy, crawly flair to the start of the episode, they're an interesting plot device. Though we first believe the problem is the spiders, the story takes us to a whole new level of tension and challenge with the unborn moonchild. But you're right, dude. There's way too many lines said about the spiders.
Yeah, and I feel like the spiders are a good diversion, and it's a good narrative device, but they overdo it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not as bad as they had before, so they're definitely going in the right direction. And it's hard as a writer. Sometimes you get lost in a moment and you don't know when to leave it alone. Matt Bradford said the same thing when we did TWTT Ecstasy, talking about how that's been an opportunity in Doctor Who as a whole. But what's important here is that this is the first episode where the conflict has really nothing to do with living or sentient beings, really. And I know we said it's a choose life story, but I think the true conflict here is Clara's struggle with self-doubt and resolve, possibly. I mean, she finally does find her resolve and saves humanity, and arguably the Doctor, but there's quite an inner struggle there, and I think that's the bigger conflict here as far as the story goes. Now, I do have to say, before we go into this next item, Stan, you might have to take 10, 15 minutes of the next bit of the show here for me. I got a family thing to tend to.
Uh-oh. I'll try.
Unless you want me to just put some music up. I think we should just keep going, because we got to get momentum going here. I'll come back as soon as I can.
All right.
You guys get to enjoy the ear candy that Stan's going to give you.
Well, we're going to run out, actually, soon.
Are we?
Okay. Well, no. There's some stuff. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. I'll be back ASAP. Here you go.
All right. So, Courtney Woods. Courtney Woods returns for her second episode in Kill the Moon. Her character is a bit grating at first, but in the end, she proves her value by standing by Clara's side. And this took great courage. Rather than being the kind of frivolous girl she's been made out to be, Courtney shows a sense of responsibility and compassion here that goes beyond what the adults are bringing to the table. Personally, my feeling is that I still don't like the way Courtney has been handled, because while she gets to share in the triumph against human stupidity, and she is kind of the co-mother of a star-faring humanity, she's still presented to us as stupid, useless, and annoying. And I don't know, do we really need this kind of bourgeois adult poison in a kid's show? Because, I mean, I don't know, it's grating on me. Because story after story, Doctor Who, the show is telling us, the same thing that Clara criticizes the Doctor for doing at the beginning of this episode. Courtney's character is presented ultimately as someone who is not special, and a child is treated as a nuisance and a burden, and not a gift. And I don't know. Of course, everyone's going to have their opinion, but children are the future, and I don't think we should think about them as a burden. And definitely we shouldn't tell them in a kid's show that they're a burden. I don't know. Am I overthinking it?
I don't know. I would like to say you're not. I came running back. Life happens. You never know when it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But so what did I miss? Where are we at?
So we're at mouth garbage.
Oh, we're back at that.
Yeah.
So, what do we leave off at about the excessive dialogue especially in Series 8?
No, we're just starting.
Oh, we're just starting.
Yes.
So yeah, we've beaten the topic of mouth garbage to death in TWTT episode 7, but it's still an issue. And again, Matt Bradford, we keep plugging him because we really went deep. We only got through a small fraction of what we want to talk about on our bonus show, and I had a lot of editing to do. That's how deep we went. But it's good. It's a good deep. There's a little bit of bantering, but the good kind, I would like to think. But he said that there's a lot of unnecessary dialogue. Now the dialogue is great, but Stan, I love dialogue. It's my favorite thing to write. But
they don't have time.
They don't have time for it, and they don't do anything with it. They just leave these dangling fruit, and then they rot. But the mouth garbage we talk about is the hate, discouragement, and rejection. But the excessive dialogue, that's junk that adds no value as well. It takes away from the things we really should be focusing on. Now, we're not the only ones that have mouth garbage on our minds. Let's hear what the community has to say. What do you think, Stan? You ready for that?
Yep, this is good. I actually have to run outside and see what's going on.
There we go. See, we're taking turns here.
Something really big just fell in my yard.
Oh gosh. Well, at least you didn't have a tree go through your window. That happened to me before. That was fun.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back.
I almost died. Okay.
Oh, don't die, dude.
I won't. Here's some voicemail, guys.
Personally, I like mouth garbage. It tickles my sweet spot, Jesus don't know you or me. And the way we're all going, he never will. It's not like you can pick and choose. You either got grace or you don't. So there we are. Damned if we do, damned if we don't, Puddin'. Why sweat the small stuff if we're all going to burn anyway?
Ooh.
Talk dirty to me. Talk dirty about anything. Nothing is sacred if everything is not sacred. Nothing is worthy of our reverence. Don't you want to rev up your Harley?
Oof. Harley.
Hi, it's Lauren from Brighton again. I hate to admit it, but every now and then mouth garbage can get the best of me. And you're right, we don't need it. Mouth garbage does far more harm than bombs, bullets, sticks or stones. It destroys people. It destroys friendships, families and communities. It destroys relationships between brothers, sisters, husbands and wives, parents and children. I liked how Clara addressed the problem of the Doctor's mouth garbage and its impact on Courtney in Kill the Moon. And then I thought, wow, Yomar and Stan talked about it before the show aired. That's something. It's weird. It's wonderful. Keep doing that.
Man, Lauren, we love you. And Harley Quinn, we love you too. Now, Those are contrasting thoughts there. That's cool. You know, we might be, Stan and I might be getting some spiritual gifts here with the clairvoyance. A lot of stuff we've been foreseeing. A lot of which we haven't even spoken on air, but it's come to be. And you guys are on the same wavelength too. But let's talk about the mouth garbage. So Harley Quinn, we don't know her real identity. We may never know who she really is. But we really enjoy when she calls in, and keep calling in. Now, whether we agree with you or disagree, you know, we still appreciate you regardless. Now, Harley Quinn's point is that we shouldn't worry about mouth garbage because we're pretty much screwed anyway. So, just kind of live life, enjoy it to the fullest, and live in the moment. Now, I'm all for living in the moment. I think that's something we've forgotten how to do. Because we're so busy trying to take pictures and tweet things out and post on Facebook that beautiful moments pass us by. But, you know, you gotta have some kind of filter and consideration and compassion towards everyone else around you. That's important too. So it's a balance. It's a balancing act, I would say. And it's funny because Lauren on a flip side is more where we're at. You have to be careful with the mouth garbage because if you just let everything that you think come out of your mouth, heck, if you don't even check your thoughts on a regular basis, you're gonna be very lonely and ultimately you destroy yourself. Now, I'm gonna say whether you believe in the greater power, the ultimate power, I don't care if you call it Allah, God, Jehovah, Yahweh, Buddha, whatever. You know, I think we still have a responsibility to really think about our actions and be deliberate in what we do. So Harley Quinn, we love you. I don't know if Stan's back yet, but I think I'm gonna have to disagree on that. Though, you know, nothing wrong with a little frolic and getting a little dirty and crazy every now and then. Excessive debauchery might be bad though. So you know, have fun. But if your fun hurts others, then, you know, ultimately you are hurting yourself. Because things do come around full circle. And that's regardless of what you believe in. And the universe has a way of bringing those things back at us. If we all just did what we wanted, said what we wanted, imagine the world we live in. I mean, sometimes, like I mentioned it before, there's times you want to punch a boss or maybe a client in the face. If we all did those little impulsive things we thought of, everybody could do that. Yeah, that'd be a very scary place. We're already almost there, but it's good that some people stop the vicious cycle of mouth garbage and violence and overall angst. But let's see here what we have in the chat. A lot of stuff going on, but I think we addressed everything. But again, shoutouts to Spaffyzilla, BFT9000. Who else do we have here? My Twitch isn't updating. We got Freeman Daddy, Tiger Claw, a bunch of lurkers that are not logged in. Thanks for tuning. Thanks for joining us for tea time. So I wanted to go a little deeper on the voicemail messages, but I think Stan's busy right now. So let's see what we got. So we're almost through, actually. We're almost through with Series 8. That's pretty sad. I think it's only fitting that we go back and enjoy some of the comments we received from the beginning. And to kind of see if our opinions have maybe changed a bit since then. I guess we'll find out. But by the way, so a quick reminder, leave us those voicemail messages and those comments on YouTube in particular. Voicemail line is 1206-415-4987. Again, 206-415-4987. And if you're outside the U.S., it's 001-206-415-4987. And go deep like Harley Quinn does, like Lauren from Brighton does, like Isaac from Jamaica, Yuri from the Ukraine. Gosh, there's been so many great people that have called in. You know, I can't possibly mention them all. We have the young lady that left us the message with the Bible passage from 1 Corinthians about the nature of love. You guys are going deep with us. Keep doing it. Don't be shy. Heck, I love hearing from all of you. And, you know, whether... You know, it's great when we don't agree, because then it gets us thinking. I kind of feel that to be human is to almost be on the cusp of being a hypocrite, because we're constantly evolving. The important thing is to really analyze ourselves and dig deep within ourselves. And when we act, kind of assess, you know, why am I acting this way? Why am I saying these things? Because we all have some degree of bias. We all have some kind of personal agenda or selfish needs. But when we can kind of step away from ourselves and be objective about ourselves, it transforms everything we do, everything we say. It's an important thing. And yeah, BFT is absolutely right. We have a great demographic, people from all over, and I love that. And that's the heart of what we're doing in Geeky Antics. We don't want to just be the voice of the U.S. and typical America. No, we want worldwide. That's why it's Geeky Antics Network Global. Sounds a little cheesy, but then it's a fun opportunity to say, "Hey, join the gang." See that? I'm pretty deliberate in my thing. I try to be clever sometimes. But anyway, here come the comments. And for the next few weeks, we're probably going to do a lot of flashback kind of stuff. So, here we go. We have Emma Pierce, or is it Pierce, who writes on YouTube, "The Listen episode was better than Robot of Sherwood." I would say Robin Hood of Sherwood. You know, I would have to agree. Both episodes had opportunities, but Listen felt like it really belonged in the Whoverse. I mean, it added value to the overall story. Now, Robot of Sherwood would have been a better episode if the pace of the season wasn't so darn slow. I mean, it's been a slow burn. As for Listen, the biggest issues for me reside in the anticlimactic writing and the fact that they've made Clara way too important. And if she really is leaving sooner than later, I mean, this talks that she might not even make it to the Christmas episode, and the whole thing about her filming that episode with Peter Capaldi was just a smokescreen. I hope that's not the case. I'd like her to be at least on board for part of Series 9. I feel they're finally making her a real dynamic character, and be ashamed to see her go now. She's getting her groove back too. But, you know, making her so important, so integral in the Doctor's origin story, it's placing the show in a very dangerous place, I think. Stan, you back yet? Nah, he must be dealing with something really serious. So we're going to keep going here. You know, this whole business with Clara being a part of the Doctor's history, it's scary. This is why. It's a major retcon. It's retroactive continuity for the series. It's a major retcon for the series. All these years, the Doctor's origins were always vague. And it is good. It created intrigue. It was a bit of mystery there. As part of the appeal of his character. There was no mention of a Clara Oswald or any kind of character that could be her in all of his history. And I can't think of her fitting in the past. This is kind of bringing her in retroactively. Timey-Wimey, you know, time travel, okay, fine. But suddenly we have to believe, we the audience have to believe, that she was at the very school where the Doctor learned to be a Time Lord. Wait. And now Time Lords are not born, they're trained? I don't remember there being any precedents about this. So it doesn't sit well with me. And yeah, regardless, I will take Listen over Robot of Sherwood any day. I love a good Robin Hood story, but just overall, now that we've had the opportunity to see all the first half of Series 8, and we're already into the second half of Series 8, Listen, I think, was still the better episode. It still is. The premise was definitely more daring and unique. They fell short. It was lacking tension. And then they tried to go for way too much. They reached for way too much, and then was the better episode. Robot of Sherwood was a throwaway, standalone, fun episode, filler episode, but it just didn't add value to the series so far. They should have skipped out on that. I hate to say it. That was a Mark Gatiss story, I believe, too. It's not his fault. I think it's just overall, it's the series' fault. The overall writing. But anyway, our next comment comes from Jennifer Whitledge, who just writes. She simply writes a breathtaking video, and I can't tell you how much of an impact those two simple words have for us. On the video side, we haven't done too much, to be honest, in terms of production value. We've had a few less than constructive comments in our way in regards to that. So it's nice to get some love here with the video. And we're going to keep on doing the video clips. Like I said, it's usually 2 or 3, sometimes 4 video clips. And we'll stay on the grind, but it's definitely, it helps when we get that encouragement. So, you know, there's honestly never enough kindness to go around. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think if Stan was here, he would say the same thing. And I know he has suggested that we should do webcam soon. There's reasons we don't do that. It's not that we're trying to hide our identities. I mean, you can see my ugly mug on Horseplay Live and my vlogs and all that. There's technical issues and logistics and whatnot that I'm still working out. And I don't want it to detract also from the core of our experience, which is the message that we're sharing and the stories that we're sharing. But we are listening, and feedback is always welcome, so let us know what you think. We always have an open ear, and we'll explore every possible venue and path. But here's our next comment, another comment from YouTube, from Alex Dodson, who resounds a sentiment that I know BFT, another one of our frequenters, has. He says, Alex says, wasps are evil. Yeah, they can be. Just don't threaten or kill their brethren, and avoid contact with their nests. I believe they go by scent, and they will call for backup if they feel threatened at all. I mean, don't set off their natural alarms. That said, watching paper wasps work, particularly here in Georgia, I must say they are quite fascinating. If you ever get a chance to watch them, watch them. Try to maintain your distance, but they're really curious creatures. Now, recently I have a bit of an anecdote regarding paper wasp, but I had an encounter where a paper wasp just started like walking on my neck and then went under my shirt, and I freaked out and I grabbed it. Surprisingly, it did not sting me. BFT says, I agree, they are wasps are evil. He said 10-10. Yeah, but I had a friendly wasp. I don't know, I'm like a Dr. Doolittle. Bugs, animals, they love me. It's the weirdest thing. I've had lots of ladybugs follow me around, and if Stan was here, I think he might say that the ladybugs are good because they're a gardener's best friend. They kill they feed off of oh, you back?
Ladybugs are awesome.
Dude, they are. Perfect timing, bro. Dude, I've been telling you, and I've been meaning to take more photos as it happens. I share them on Tumblr and Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. But dude, everywhere I turn, there's a ladybug now, and they're like they're attracted to me, no matter what color. I know bugs are usually attracted to like bright colors, but I could be wearing drab colors. You know, I wear a lot of black often. That's me being a geek, but the ladybugs, they're attracted to me. I don't know what it is. Weird, dude.
Awesome.
I'm taking it as a good sign.
It's a very good sign.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry I was gone. They actually, a tree branch was dropped on a car.
Oh boy.
It's not my car, but
oh.
on Carrie's boyfriend's car.
Oh gosh.
I shouldn't laugh.
Good times. Well, we're about to get on to the last comment of the second half here. The final half. And Emily R. writes, another Spanish one, here we go. Suena como que Yomar está pasando por un mal momento. Eres fuerte. Eres más rápido. Eres más inteligente. Eres bueno. Eres el mejor. So Emily says that it sounds like Yomar is going through a rough patch, a bad moment, if you translate it literally. She says, you are strong, you are faster, you are more intelligent, you are good, you are the best.
Wow.
And I don't remember.
That's awesome.
I don't have I shared that comment before?
I don't remember
Yeah, I don't recall if I have, but you know, I think it's worth sharing again. Real quick, Tiger Claw says that the ladybugs are attracted to me because they think I'm a good-looking guy. Oh, thanks, bro. Bro love. Well, I don't know. I think all this is me being kind of a hippie, but I think like goodness attracts good things, and I like to believe that. Like I find that on days when I have bad thoughts in my head, really bad stuff happens. And then when I try to just like transform those thoughts to good things, like beautiful things happen, and I notice, I appreciate and observe and take in more of the beauty around me. So maybe that's why animals and all kinds of critters tend to be attracted to me. Even little kids, like when I volunteered and did a lot of community work, I did like I worked at Head Start centers, and these 3 or 4 year old kids, they would flock to me. I felt so bad because the people that worked there full time and had like tenure in these places would look at me like with a little bit of jealousy, like, why are they all flocking to you for story time and hugs and all this stuff? Like, I don't know. I'm not doing anything different. So there's something about that. Some people can really sense the spirit. Some people project the spirit, the goodwill to others. I hope I could, you know, become more of that kind of person and inspire people like that. I hope I do. I really do. But thank you so much, Emily, for that. And I want to extend this message that Emily shared, you know, and all the overall encouragement, because this is not the only message we've got on like this. And we'll probably share a lot of these messages in future episodes, even the older ones, because we all need that encouragement. We all need that nudge every now and then. There's a lot of kicking and pushing. And that's good sometimes, too. Sometimes you need that tough love, but sometimes we just need a hug, a warm embrace, some gentle words, a pat on the back, kiss on the cheek. Yeah. You know, little things like that, they go a long way.
Yeah, they do.
So I want to extend this message to the few people that I can call true friends, and you know who you are. And Stan, that definitely goes to you.
Thank you.
Everybody, you know, keep us in your thoughts and prayers. Keep doing that. It does mean a lot to us. You know, if you guys watch my vlogs, I've had some moments where I broke down. And I'm about to do it now, and I'm choking back the tears because we gotta keep going. But everyone has.
Come back, man. Let them flow.
Let them flow.
Let them flow.
Oh,
let the love out.
I've done a lot of purification, I tell you that, brother. But yeah, everybody has their struggles, you know. And one thing that keeps me going is I always think that someone always has it worse than us, and I try to reach out to those people. I don't try to assume that my struggles are the worst, you know. So no one is alone, and even though we have our own struggles, sometimes we feel very alone. Remember, we don't thrive and we don't persevere alone. So let people know what you're going through and reach out to us, and you know, together we could do big things. You know, remember that you matter to us.
Yes.
You matter to me. You know, whether you're listeners, viewers, friends, everybody. And Stan, yes, that goes to you too, brother. I know you're going through a lot, man.
Thank you, man.
We're walking similar paths, not just here on the show, just in life in general.
True.
And with that, I think that our pain and struggle is creating a lot of beauty. I see so much opportunity now, including a few projects. We got a consulting project we're working on together, and a few people hinting they might need our services.
Yes.
So, you know, it's like I keep saying, whenever we're on the verge of a breakthrough, misery and misfortune, they come to test us, man.
They do. They do.
And it's
we're
hard.
Strong. We're stronger.
We are strong.
We're faster. We're more intelligent. We're better.
Because everybody says we are. That empowers us.
Uh-huh.
I don't like tooting my own horn, but when I hear other people say that, I can't lie. It makes me feel really good.
It does.
But be careful with that. You know, when you're on the point of on the verge of a breakthrough, it's so easy to give up because the jealousy comes in, the misery comes in. You know, whether you believe that's you know, Satan working in your life, or you just believe it's just random bad luck. This is something that happens in the world. Friends start working against us, supposed friends. Because true friends won't. You know, true friends will build us up.
Right.
But we gotta, you know, I hope that we keep building this community as we have, and have that support network grow out of it. But hey, we are about to wrap up the show. And it's time for one of I know Stan's favorite parts of the show.
It is. It's the Soft Kitty song
Yes.
contest.
So what you got for us, Stan?
So, as I've mentioned many times, Yomar is still having trouble getting the sleepy time. So we still want you to help him out by singing Sheldon Cooper's favorite lullaby, Soft Kitty. Call in and sing your best Soft Kitty in the Geeky Antics voicemail. And the details, so 3 Soft Kitty singers will win an epic Hearthstone plushie pillow. The audience will choose the winners by poll at the geekyantics.net website. Is that up now? The
Yes,
rules?
it went up this
Awesome.
morning at 7 a.m.
Awesome. So Yomar has put the rules up. And the poll. So when you call in, sing, leave us your name, email, address, or something so we can identify you. Don't worry, we won't go public with it unless you give us permission. Sing your Soft Kitty at, in the U.S., it's 206-415-4987. Or if you're outside the U.S., it's 001-206-415-4987. If you don't know the lullaby, go to YouTube and search Soft Kitty Song Big Bang Theory. Do we have some of the submissions we've received to play?
We do. We're gonna play some of the older ones we've received. So
Awesome.
with that, we're gonna be selecting up to 20 finalists, and then opening up the voting period. So far, we've received about 12, maybe. I haven't counted yet.
Okay.
So pretty soon, we're gonna release details on when we're gonna close the submission period and then open up the voting period. We'll try to give everybody enough time to still, for people that are still joining and learning of the show and learning about the contest, we're gonna give you guys at least another week to get the submissions in. So stay tuned. But here are a couple excellent examples. I mean, actually, all of them have been fantastic. So
I love them.
yeah, this gets Stan very giddy. That's good. It's for me to help me sleep, but really, it's to make Stan smile more. He needs it. That Stan has been the grumpy kitty from all the memes lately. No me gusta. I want Stan to be happy. I like happy Stan. This is why we need to be neighbors, because every time you have a bad day, I'll just come over and be like, I'm gonna cook for you, bro. You can't be. It's impossible to be grumpy around me. I'm just too hyper.
This is true.
I'm a little weird too.
And you have a song.
Yes, we have this. We have this song, the song of the soul. But here we go. Soft Kitty.
Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Soft kitty, warm kitty, happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr.
Now the last person that sang there, I happen to believe it's someone that used to leave us quite a few voicemail messages. We hope you leave us a new voicemail message. We miss you. Come back. And of course, we got the Louis Armstrong style soft key interpretation. That's one of Stan's favorites, right?
It is. It is.
Now, guys, I think there's a lot of stuff going on both of our home fronts. So we're gonna wrap up the show here. I don't think there's gonna be a post show today. Is that safe to say, Stan?
Yeah, I should check things out, and you got family stuff, so.
Yeah, so it works out perfectly. We're on the same page. We're on the.
Yeah.
I don't know. Our lives
are like parallels.
Dude, it's crazy. More timey-wimey at work.
It is.
But before we wrap things up, and have our wonderful outro bits played here for you, the biscuits I like to call it. TWTT can be enjoyed wherever fantastic, beautiful podcasts can be found, including, but not limited to, Stitcher, iTunes, Zune/Windows Phone Marketplace, TuneIn Radio, and Spreaker. And I want to thank once again, Casterberus and Trenzalore Tomb on Twitter for paying it forward, sharing our content forward. I also want to thank allgames.com, where you can join us live by just clicking the live chat button. Well, actually now, that chat is on the front page. So all you got to do is just load up allgames.com and then hit play on the media player, and boom, candy in your ears. And that's every Saturday you can join us. It's right live at noon Eastern, 5 p.m. in London, 7 p.m. in Bucharest. I think 4 p.m. in Madrid, is that right?
Yes.
And don't forget, our main hub is geekyantics.net. Please come over and spread the love. Just take a few seconds to leave comments. You don't even have to register. We prefer if you register and log in to leave the comments. You can actually unlock achievements and earn points. Fun stuff happens when you register on our site. But if you're shy, you want to leave an anonymous comment, that's cool too. But leave the love, because we got a lot of people that pour their hearts out and their souls out to bring content. They're not getting paid for it. I can't afford to do that. I'm sorry. I'd love to, but it's a mutual beneficial thing. We share our audience with them. They share their audience with us. And we both grow together like that. We all grow together like that.
Right.
Collaboration is a beautiful thing. Stan, you have any other plugs for us?
Yeah, check out our blog recap on geekyantics.net for the shout-out links, or search hashtag TWTT on Twitter. And I'll do some quick shout-outs to our dreamers on Kickstarter. There's VSSL, Vessel. It's a range of multifunctional tools with components critical for outdoor survival and maybe a zombie apocalypse.
Ooh.
The vessels, it's kind of cool. They're like big flashlights, and since they're empty, they got, you can get them with first aid kits or shelters, or I don't know, maybe some zombie trapping stuff.
Dude, that's like one of my man fetishes. Multi-tools. Like, it's got a corkscrew. It's got a butt scratcher. I love those kind of things, dude. I had this one thing that it was like a radio with like a multi-tool built into it, and then a crank, so you could like self-power it. With a little elbow grease. Oh man, I love that kind of stuff, dude.
Cool.
What else you got?
XTZ. Hey, we like that name.
Mm-hmm.
Swedish company that wants to make the best and most affordable hi-fi headphones ever. So they're trying to make this high-end DSP wireless headphone with Bluetooth 4.0 and NFC pairing for under $100. I think that's kind of cool.
That's very competitive.
Right.
NFC pairing, that's the big technology catchphrase. Near field communication.
Right. And the DSP, maybe you can explain a little bit about how digital signal processing works, because that's their kind of idea of how to increase the sound quality for headphones.
Well, see, the difference between like analog audio and digital. Some people prefer the analog because it sounds more warm and realistic. Right. But the digital, you can separate different signals and block out noise, static, background sounds, stuff like that. So DSP could be a lot of things. You could have an equalizer that brings out mid range, your mids, your trebles, your bass,
Nice.
do that kind of stuff. So DSP is like a very big umbrella, But when you have the digital stuff, there's a lot more stuff you could do with the how the sound actually is processed. So that's really cool stuff. I like the digital stuff just because it's easier to work with, but it's a matter of preference. And if they incorporate noise cancellation or noise isolation, which are different things actually,
Right.
That'd be pretty cool. I have yet to find affordable headphones, or at least mid-range ones that do noise cancellation properly, whereas you can listen really like if I want to be just focused on writing or whatever I'm working on and have everything be dead to the world, I want something like that. But that can be kind of scary too.
Yeah. And the last one on Kickstarter is by a company called Power Practical, and they're making what's called the Pronto, which is a fast charge battery that charges up fully in 5 minutes, so you can recharge your smartphone.
Ooh.
That's fast. I mean, imagine you just got to plug it in for 5 minutes, and then you've got to plug it into your phone after that, and it'll charge your phone in the normal time. But you charge it up in 5 minutes, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. Get some juice real quick. That might come in handy in the
That would come in handy exactly at your Walker Stalker Con.
Yes, I have a couple of those, something similar to that.
Yeah, you do have chargers. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
gotta be prepared when you go to those conventions, because good luck trying to find an outlet.
Right.
Speaking of which, we're gonna probably record a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff's gonna be pre-recorded, do like voice recordings and stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna do much video. Photos, yes, but videos kind of.
Would you have your iPad?
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to travel light when I go into it. Plus, we'll see. A lot of this will probably be audio or pre-recorded audio, and then like stream it later on, or do a podcast later on, incorporate it, upload it to the feed. So we'll see. I'm still kind of figuring out the logistics there. So any other plugs?
No, that's it.
Well, I do want to say, we'd appreciate if all these folks that were plugging on Kickstarter, if you go support these projects, let them know that Yomar and Stan from Timey-Wimey Tea Time sent you. It's important, so they know that there's people that are vouching for them.
Right.
That these are not paid endorsements. Though I do want to say I did get the package from Heather, and I got a nice little note. Sadly, our mailman decided to play football with the package.
Oh no!
So some of the contents spilled. Not too bad.
Was it the samples that spilled, or the actual?
One of the actual products.
Oh, okay. The compacts.
So I'll reach out to Heather, or we'll reach out to Heather, and maybe we can give her some tips, some business tips. But I hate for her business to suffer because people are inept.
Right.
It's like, hey, let's play football with the package. It's a box, it can survive it. Like, yeah, the box is fine, but the inside is not.
Right.
There was no physical damage on the box, but I guess they tossed it around a bit.
True.
But that's about the show, and I would love to do a post show tonight, but it's one of those special days.
Yes, it is.
And I'm also kind of hungry. I'm a little famished.
Huh?
In a few minutes, you guys are gonna hear a gurgle, and I don't think I want my microphone to pick that up. But we appreciate everything. There's been so much love and encouragement going on in the TWTT community, on all games, on Geeky Antics. Keep that love going, and we share, we pay it forward, and and hopefully together we can break the vicious cycle of hate and angst, and all the ugliness in the world. So we appreciate you guys, and with that, we will see you guys probably sooner than later. We might pre-record another episode before Walker Stalker Con. So watch the Twitter feeds at Yogizilla, at Faryna, that's Faryna, and at Geeky Antics, and watch the hashtag TWTT on all the social medias. I said medias because it's funny to me. Inside joke, sorry. I'm terrible. Is that it? Did I catch everything?
I think you did.
Awesome. Well, I love you, bro, and I love you guys. Yeah, and I miss you for the brief time we'll be apart.
But we'll be back.
We will be back. Peace and love to everybody.
God bless.
Take it easy, guys.
We thank you. Yomar and Stan, thank you. We thank you for every crumb, biscuit and cake you bring to the table. Because Doctor Who belongs to all of us. What you bring to the Timey-Wimey tea time in your live chat participation, comments, likes, shares, tweets and voicemail, all of it means the world to us. Love, true love never fails. Do you like it? If you like what we're doing, well, tell us for God's sake. Shout it from the rooftops at geekyantics.net or call it in 206 415 4987. That's 206 415 4987. That's it. Bless you. So long. And thanks for all the fish. But on, it won't be that long, just a wee while, because the Timey-Wimey tea time will be back. We'll return next Saturday with fresh insights, questions and epiphanies about Doctor Who. And heck yes, everything geek. Maybe same bat time, absolutely the same bat channel, every Saturday.
Timey-Wimey tea time.
Me gusta.